Roderick Christopherson here again with another first listen review. I hesitated on doing this one because it's Duran Duran, but I just got done listening to this and it was just fun, so I had to do it. So it's the new one from Duran Duran. It's called Danse Macabre. Did I say Dram Duram? I don't know. Anyway, it's Danse Macabre. It is 13 tracks. I'm sure that was no mistake. And it was basically, I guess the way they described it, it is the theme song to a fun Halloween party. So weird, but you know what? I like Duran Duran. It's one of these bands that I hated as a kid because my sister loved them. And, so I just kind of had to hate them, but then I would find myself sneaking her cassette tapes and making copies of them for myself, even when she wasn't home. So it's one of those things. And I know they kind of got tagged as being like this pop boy band, but let me tell you what, as a bass player, try playing like one of, John Taylor's bass part sometime. He's pretty funky. Anyway, and there's a lot of that on this album too. But there's like a few of their new songs, they got a few of their older songs redone, and there's a bunch of cover songs. And it's not like the cover album that they did before, which was kind of a disaster, but they actually do it kind of cool with a theme behind it this time. The only thing they were missing, they missed the boat. They didn't do Thriller. I mean, that would have been cool to hear Duran Duran doing Thriller, I think. I don't know. There's a couple of these other songs on here I'm not familiar with at all, but so that all kind of sounded like Duran Duran to me, but it was fun. I mean, they do a cover of Paint It Black from Rolling Stones. There's a song called Spellbound by Sue and the Banshees, which I'd never heard before. Their version of Psycho Killer is cool, and that one has a bassist Victoria DeAngelis of the band Maneskin on it, which was a fun song. I would have actually really liked to hear John play on that one, but it was still, that version of that song was super cool. I know I'm doing this way out of order, but that song was actually really, really cool. One of the best covers they did on here. And then there's a song by the Specials called Ghost Town, which I had not heard before, and that was probably the weakest song on this, but it is what it is. This is meant to be a fun album, so I'm not going to pick it apart too much. And they actually covered Billie Eilish's Bury a Friend, which was way different than her version, but it was actually pretty cool. It sounded like Duran Duran, so that's cool when bands can actually do that. But yeah, they start out with Night Boat, and it's it's definitely more eerie than the original. The next one has Andy Taylor playing on it, and he plays on several of the tracks. He plays on Black Moonlight, Secret October, which is like a B-side of one of their earlier songs off the Snake B-side. So this one's called Secret October 31st, and he also plays on the Psycho Killer one. And they have actually Warren Cucurullo on the Love Voodoo, which is a really funky song, and he plays on the title song Danse Macabre. So Nile Rodgers actually plays guitar on Black Moonlight, which is the second track on here. Super funky. The bass part in that is cool, but I mean, Nile locks in that. It sounds like Chic meets Duran Duran, which I guess that's kind of what Power Station was like, since they had the drummer from Chic playing on that one, and that's just another album where John Taylor just kills it on bass. I really like his bass playing. To me, he's like the rock of the band. He's like the funk. He is like the foundation of that band, in my opinion. He's what holds this whole album together, too, in my opinion. And Love Voodoo, like I was just talking about, that's got a cool, funky bass line. I could just listen to this album with just the bass, drums, and the instrumentals. Just the root, the rhythm section, just playing. I could forget all the frills and singing and all the fancy stuff on top of that. I could listen to the bass and just groove, and this whole album was actually that much fun. And of course they got the Billie Eilish cover, which is fun. Supernature, which I don't know, I'm not familiar with that one at all, but it was a fun song. Danse Macabre was actually probably the second weakest song on here, but it was a fun song. I mean, I can see what they were going for on here. It was like a fun Halloween party type thing. It wasn't meant to be too scary or weird, but it's got the eerie, spooky sounds going on, and the eerie effects and some of the stuff, and whatever. It's Duran Duran. They've been around long enough. If they want to do this, obviously they can. There's a lot of people going to like this. I think it's going to be one of those albums that you're probably, I think it's kind of smart actually, because it'll be one of these albums that people are going to grab every Halloween and throw it on every Halloween, and they'll probably sell more albums every Halloween. Now, what other band is out there doing that? So whether you like it or hate it, that was actually a smart marketing idea, I think. And then the song Ghost Town, which is actually weirdly happy sounding, but like I said, I didn't really know that song that well. To me, it's the weakest one. The version of Paint It Black on here is definitely unique to their own. It sounds like Duran Duran, but you can hear the original in there. And the one I find that was like the most interesting, I don't know if it's my favorite or not, but it was the most interesting, was the Super Lonely Freak, which is, Lonely New Nightmare, and then somehow it transforms into Super Freak for the second half of the song, which was, I don't know, it was fun. It was, like I said, interesting, it was fun. And then the Spellbound song, which I talked about, don't really know that one too well either, but, another fun, interesting, Halloween theme type song. They made it a little bit more eerie with the background, the keyboard textures in it, and their version of Psycho Killer, like I already mentioned, was actually super cool. And then they end with like this really mellow song called Confessions in the Afterlife, which, I don't know, was fun. It was a little bit more mellow than the rest of it, but other than that, the rest of it was pretty upbeat and cool. So anyway, I didn't want to keep this one going too long. This was actually longer than I expected it to be. But if anyone out there has heard this and if you think it's fun like I did, feel free to comment and I'll let your feelings be known. If you didn't think it was fun, then that's fine as well. And you didn't like it, then that's fine. It's all of our opinions. But I just think that's the attitude they went into this with. And I dig Duran Duran. They're actually the band I'm in right now actually plays one of their songs. We do Ordinary World, which was like super fun to play, and every time we do that one, we just kind of pull it out of left field. The crowd loves it. Actually, it goes over really, really well. So a lot of people out there like them, but a little bit more, our version a little bit more rocking. But this is just a interesting addition to their catalog, I think, and I don't know. I think it was a kind of a fun, smart move. That's just my opinion. That's pretty much all this is about, as always. And like I always say, like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff just to keep us talking about it. And until next one, we'll see you.